show's motivation is drama. Motivation by itself. It's true.
Let's go. Where are we going?
Like if I was to draw a picture of that, what you told.
We just went to church. You feel redeemed, reborn?
Especially that last song.
Like a new image. Cleansed. Purified. It's good. It's good.
Jesus-fied.
Let's go immerse ourselves in the cesspit of cinema.
Physics, mathematics, it just goes on and on and on. And there's so much information to try to fit into this thing that it's probably one of the reasons it took 5 years.
I'm going to go ahead and open up to the floor if anybody had any questions for him. Yes, ma'am, you in the blue?
Yeah, I was just wondering, did you make a conscious decision not to include like Buddhism and Tibetan thought? You know, I'm just thinking of the Bardo and how that kind of matches. I just read a Leary paper from 1963 comparing psychedelics to the Bardo, which curious.
That definitely came up a lot. I'm sorry, sure. Curious about why we didn't touch on the Tibetan Buddhist idea of the Bardo. People talk about that pretty regularly, about that experience going to that place and recognizing it, recognizing it for what it is. As far as putting it in the film, there was so much content and trying to squeeze that down kind of led us, a particular direction. The interesting thing about Dr. Strassman, though, is that he was in a Buddhist practice for 20 years in New Mexico, and was very strict. And once they found out, or let him do his research a little bit, they came back and asked him to leave the camp because you're not supposed to take any drugs or anything like that to alter your consciousness. Especially when people are having mystical experiences on that, it probably throws people off a little bit. Not that that was a decision, because of that. I just thought it was an interesting time.
Dad and I just saw The Spirit Molecule, more or less a documentary on psychotropics and hallucinogens and their place in spirituality and man's quest for knowing himself and knowing God and coming to understand the reality around him. What's the part of hallucinogens? Just different chemical compounds that can be introduced into your system. With the typical fundamental Christian, where does that fit in?
They're scientific shamans and witch doctors, and we must kill them. We must kill them all.
Is any combination of chemicals that are introduced to the body and then that cause a change in your consciousness, are these demonic in nature?
Hell yeah.
Are they destructive in nature?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's the only answer.
And
look at that.
Let them demons get in there through them drugs,
Yeah.
open you up, and they just sit there in your little brain and take you all over, give you all kinds of experiences they've had all through history, running around in the
Right. But see, the thing is, like you were saying, like they were onto something, they were humbly onto something that they did want that this topic should be pursued in a mature way in this culture.
Yeah. No, they were.
But my perspective,
stupendous. They are the loyal opposition, and every time I see one of these documentaries, I get really excited because I know the showdown between Orthodox biblical Christian theology and this mysticism is coming.
We got one more movie to do. Lovecraft.
Honestly, you're right.
It's independent suspense horror, I think.
But it should be something on your website.
So that's about all I got to say.
Characters.
Feeling great here in Austin.
Yeah, and it may not necessarily.
Great place to have a film festival. Great place to
I still need to work on my website.
have vacation with the family. Oh, Dad, best moment of the film festival so far?
One of the producers wanted to go out with me, and we had a great knockout conversation, and she's intrigued and wants my work sent to her.
Yeah.
I was inspired.
Ian.
I wasn't finished. I shot short films with young filmmakers, and so I said I can do one of those. Now I'm finished.
I saw short films with young filmmakers, and I said I could do one of those.
And put Blaze's name on it.
Blue Valentine is a great movie, and it's what my life could have been.
Pretty much my highest moment here at the festival is before and after each movie.
Hollywood stars.
Here we go.
Hey guys, Mr. Potts and you, sir. Sorry.
No,
She drinks. Can we get an autograph?
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Your work was quality, especially for the price. And you guys are funny. I predict that. Yeah, sorry, it's
They're
not
not
real
working.
bad. The
There we
addiction's
go.
fine. And
You can sign it on the back.
I'll do that too. I'll do both.
okay, that'll work. Then we can prove it. But I mean, if you guys haven't been contacted yet, there's so many actors could work off you guys so easy.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We try. We might have to do one more, maybe a $5,000 budget.
Right.
And that'll completely blow their minds. But
I'm hoping.
you guys are on the right track.
We're trying to get 50 million for the next one.
50 million. Okay.
It's just called explosions and special effects. That's all it is.
I think you mean billion.
50 billion. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, I might show up on the set. I just want to be a PA. So
Well, do you have a card or a way to
I'm a
contact
hard
you?
worker.
We've already said everything we're going to say. You're not going to get anything from me.
We're talking about the Rogers Pass, which I was kind of critical of after we left, and incidentally, I was kind of voicing my opinion to Ian, and like 10 steps ahead of us was the director and writer, and the guy who put it together did the whole thing. I don't think he heard me, but
I had to say, Colin started getting loud and passionate.
yeah, I was starting to express myself, but
And he started getting loud and passionate.
now Ian and Dad are talking about it.
Yeah,
And
that would have been one. I didn't know he was in front of you.
You didn't know that?
And when I did, I got a little nervous. But now I wish you would have taken a little initiative and said,
Well, I know, but it's weird. But he's still
let
so
us
small.
bring you out of
He's still so small time. I can email him, and I will.
I'm going to look him up and find out what he's doing, watch his other short
I would
films.
really like to follow up. I think this really touched you.
his name's Colin.
And it's the ticket producer.
Alright, just saw the last Lovecraft, a kind of sci-fi.
Which slips back into our drug film and the mystic seeing all the entities, because Lovecraft believed, or people believe, something about the old ones.
Lovecraft
who
wrote science
created
fiction,
us.
but he remixed a
Just
lot of
like
esoteric
Zachariah
stuff in
fiction.
his literature, and so there's a big cult following. This movie's kind of based loosely on his writings. It was very good. We sat next to the director.
That was fun.
He snuck in at the very end. He sat next to us.
I wish Ian had been sitting by him.
Yeah, and then
It
him.
struck up a good conversation. I was just dumbfounded because it's not my genre. We can feel the old ones walking around us right now, wondering how much we know.
Yeah.
And we just want them to know we know. Some of it.
Hey, everybody's
Oh, wait,
going
you
out.
guys, just a second.
And caught up with.
Really? All right.
You want to go that way, Colin?
Nope.
Let's go walk.
Filming you getting out of the day, big day. We're all exhausted. Started out with church. It's kind of terrifying. I have this deep-seated fear that whenever I take communion with Dad, I'm gonna choke, and he's gonna be like, "I told you, I told you."
Why don't you take communion? They ask people not to unless they.
I'm in. If you want us to talk about Christ and what a Christian is, I will.
Are you with him?
Yeah, Christ is a higher standard,
Okay.
and I believe in a higher standard. So I'll take communion.